Hello and welcome to Scrapping on the Fly. My name is Kristen and I am here with day 19 of 30 Days of Sketches with Christy's Beautiful Life, series 13. And today's sketch is done by one of my favorites, Galaxy Girl Creations, which is Janet Fritz. And I love this layout or this sketch. It is a lot of fun. And so I printed a couple of pictures. One is from last year and one is from this year. Pretty much the same function. Added a little sweet kiddo on the side. And I was in love with all the bluey, greeny blues that Janet has on her sketch. So I decided I would, for the first time ever, dive into my Ocean by 49 and Market. And y'all understand, right, that it is so hard to open up these collections and use them for the first time. It just goes to show that I love my friend Ashley that much because I knew I wanted this collection. I really wanted all that blue saturated just gorgeousness that this collection has to offer. And so I've pulled out a stencil, so I'm going to use a base page and just one paper from the collection, but I'm going to use some of the smaller papers as well as some of the ephemera. So, but I'm sticking mostly with blue, not completely monochrome, because I am bringing in some of these cupcakes because that's what we were doing. We were eating cupcakes. So I've got some inks to go through with that. So I've got my papers, my embellishments, mixed media, my pictures, and this really cool sketch. So let's see how this goes. So I am starting off by inking through this stencil, which is a Scrapping Reflection stencil. And I start with Stormy Sky because it's the lighter of the three colors I'm using. The second color I'm going to pull out is Broken China. I had to think for a second. And it has that greeny color that I was getting with from the vibes and that background paper that she has, like that grid paper in the background. That's why I decided to use this stencil. And then I pulled out Prize Ribbon because I really wanted the contrast of that lighter Stormy Sky color, as well as that dark pop of the Prized Ribbon, and then of course that hint of the green colors in the Broken China. And I love how this turned out. I went over the whole thing with all the different colors. I just pressed down a little harder for some colors so there'd be like pops of the greeny blue, and pops of the darker blue, and pops of the lighter blue. And then I matted it on one piece of the cardstock, but I gut it, of course, because you gotta be crazy. And then I'm gonna use that inside gutted piece for that strip that she's got going down, kind of that long strip that comes up. Instead of having that wide border, I'm actually just going to thin mat that with just a piece of cardstock, an 8.5 by 11 cardstock. And then I mat my pictures on one of the 6x8 papers, and then I double matted it on another piece of just blue cardstock. I have like 30 shades of blue, I think. And so I just love having the ability and the opportunity to use that. And since this is just all blue and it doesn't have to be like a specific match or anything, I can just pick a color that works for me. So this first one is like a really dark navy. And then the next one I pull out that I mat the pictures in is more of the smoky or that Stormy Sky color, but it's a little darker. I originally thought I might use a color that was very similar to that Prize Ribbon, but changed my mind because I liked this more subtle look of the color that I ended up using. So it's kind of a blend between the Stormy Sky and the Prize Ribbon. So I took a piece of the leftovers from the same paper still in on the right side, and then I decided to do some distressing and tear a piece of this paper. Ooh. And so then my original plan was to do the pictures coming off the edge to the left, but because I don't want to cover that up as it would, I decided to move it over and have it come off on the right side. So it does cover some of that other swatch on the other side, but I love the texture of torn paper. It just adds so much to a layout. So then I fiddled around with these acetate leaves and butterflies. these things are so gorgeous. Now, because I've got so much blue on here, some of the color is not standing out. Like some of them are kind of a clear with like a light blue, but I picked some of the darker ones that had more of like that tealy color. And then I did pull some from the punch outs as well as from this collection. And so a couple of those are like the paper punch out, like a cardstock material. And some of those are acetate. And then I've got butterflies and stuff. And I've pulled a flare from the Flare Hut that I decided to put down at the bottom. It's got butterflies on it. It's a darker blue, and I love that. But I want to kind of cover up the pumpkins. Oh my gosh, the cupcakes. Pumpkin, where'd that come from? Because they're not really the focal point, but I want them on this layout because a year ago in that top picture, my friend Ashley and I went to a baby shower at school one afternoon, took this picture trying to entice our friend Mary to come in and have cupcakes. And the full picture, you can see she has a cupcake too, but it was not going to work if I didn't trim it out. And then the other picture is from literally like 2 days ago. Let's see, yesterday. And we had just finished our cupcakes when I took the picture. So, but that picture on the top is the one that I decided I look so old because my hair was so gray. Because she has like pitch black hair, and we're in the library, which is a lot of fluorescent lighting. And so I went home and colored my hair that weekend. So I feel like I look a lot younger in the picture below, which is a year later. So, but that's because even though the gray is coming through, my hair is lighter right now. And so you can't tell as much. And her little sweetie, her youngest, was with us. And so he peeked in on our picture, which is totally fab because I adore him. I've done a layout of his before and he loves being YouTube famous. So it's all good. So I love how this turned out. I love the little pops of pink and yellow from the cupcakes. And I almost forgot to put a title on it and came back and grabbed a thicker and put on there beautiful because I thought that was absolutely fitting. It was a beautiful time. She's a beautiful friend and I just love the story between the old picture and the new one. So anyway, I hope that you all have enjoyed this. I hope you all are checking out the playlist for 30 Days of Sketches as well as the Facebook group. And I hope you'll come back and see me again really soon. I'd love it if you give me a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already. Hope you get a chance today to do something you love with someone you love, and happy scrapping.